What is up, guys? Dashing here for episode 480 for the Universe Mode. I finally made it, my fine feathered friends, to Homecoming 3. And I swear to God, if it lags, I will jump right out the window because it hasn't lagged in 2 months. And if it does this to me on Homecoming 3, I'm going to die inside. But let's hope that it doesn't. I'm mood knock me down until you actually run into a problem. But, get it out of my head right now. No bad vibes. Only good vibes, as Elijah Stewart would say. But welcome in all. What up, Dynamic Gamer 702 Topher, all Batman. What up? Welcome. I hope that you are as hyped as I am. The final pay-per-view of the calendar year here in CMV. We've been waiting for it. It's been building. One of the most stacked cards perhaps in the entire history of this show. And it goes down. It starts right now here on the pre-show 8-man tag team action. And guys, I am not alone, as joining me on commentary for the first time in a while, none other than the one, the only Mr. Excitement.
Hi everyone, just so happy to be here.
Hang on one second, I gotta
just
adjust my mic here. There we go now.
Like, the energy I'm exuding is just too much for you to handle. You gotta adjust the mic. That's what I do. That's why they have me on commentary.
Now I can hear you loud and clear, and we're already off to a huge start as Chase Henderson just counters a tombstone pile driver into one of his own. But we are here kicking off the pre-show first of 10 matches tonight. It's 8-man tag team action. As you can see, obviously, Rob Cross starting things off against Chase Henderson. Cross teaming up with Bloody Justice and the Anarchists, as Henderson pairs up with the CMV Trios champions, the BRC. Mr. Excitement, like I said, we haven't had you on commentary here in quite a while, so I know that right before the show started, you were saying, and you're not too sure who a couple of these guys are, but you got to know who the inaugural Trios champions are, right?
You know, I have a passive familiarity with them, but you know, I'm looking forward to you just really bringing me into who these guys are and what they bring to the table, because, you know, I see this is kind of like a new era of Fusion, new era of CMV. These new guys are bringing in.
Indeed, and they won, of course, the titles back at Regicide, and then 6-man tag team ladder match as Rob Cross makes a hot tag after some nice teamwork between Henderson and JT Fury. Here comes Crow. Had a bit of back and forth these last few months. Bloody Justice and Caleb Reed nearly getting into it ringside there for a moment, but it was Bloody Justice and Crow who, at Emergence it was, challenged the BRC for the titles in a, I don't think anybody will ever forget, 6-man 2 out of 3 falls match that probably went on for near an hour. Hashtag never forget. The BRC able to retain, but Bloody Justice and the Anarchists, Caleb Reed and Crow, wanting to keep their names in the hat, while the budding rival between Cross and Henderson going on this last month ever since the Kings kicked Henderson out of the formerly known as the Ballers Club. But so far, Henderson been doing fairly well for himself, coming off of 2 losses, but before that, 2 victories, one of which was a singles win over Rob Cross. And we'll see Rob Cross's tag team partner, best friend Chris Diamond, defend the Undisputed Championship later on tonight against Harvey Hastings. Was supposed to originally be a triple threat. We'll get into that more, but a huge card, 4 championship matches, 2 of which take place here on the pre-show. Up next, Brandon Rain going to challenge Percy Simmons for the light heavyweight title. Then we got an Anarchy Rules match for the Anarchy title, as D'Angelo Prince challenges Shaquan Shea. But look at this, Mr. Excitement. Crow going to the top rope. Crow may be looking for the Crow's Nest, and there it is.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Executed. But it pays off, and it might just get them the victory here to kick off the show into the pin, but it's going to be Chase Henderson who makes the save, and Rob Cross not too happy about that. Now, I know one of the names that you weren't too familiar with was Rob Cross, who, as I touched on, part of the King's best friend of Undisputed Champion Chris Diamond, actually the winner of the 3rd annual Tag Team Cup and former Fusion Tag Team Champion.
I'm gonna get back to you on that, but do you see the trash this Jaquan Shea character is talking in chat, calling me Mr. Downey?
I did not. Let me see if I can find this tweet. Is it actually here? Yes, we do. A tweet from Jaquan Shea saying, Mr. Excitement, he sounds like Mr. Downey. As for me, I'll be known as Mr. Anarchy after tonight. That is some savagery thrown out there by the CMV Anarchy champion.
That's what happens when you go bring me on. These new guys, they think I'm some kind of scrub. I'm some kind of guy that just shows up and he doesn't do anything. But you know what? They call me Mr. Excitement for a reason, and it's because I am unlike any other commentator the wrestling business has ever seen. And you know what? I hope he loses tonight. I'm not even a Jennifer Prince fan, but I hope DeContre loses. That's my prediction.
A little bit of bias being shown, Mr. Something. But come on, Shay, how do you just
Kids
talk
these
trash
days,
on
man.
one of the greatest commentators of all time? What's he thinking? I gotta
All
agree.
time.
All time. Nice standing moonsault after Chris Sullivan's short stint. But Bloody Justice
And
these
again.
past couple weeks. Oh, another tweet. This time from Reese Matthews saying, "This new commentator is putting me to sleep. This is exactly like watching a Brandon Rain match." That's gotta sting.
And that's why
You know
he's
what?
a former and one and only undisputed champion.
Don't worry about
He's
these.
out here talking about.
Yeah, don't worry about these guys. We're here at Homecoming 3, Miami, Florida. It's a beautiful, sun-shining day, and it's Homecoming 3. Fusion versus Genesis. Huge 8-man elimination tag team match in the main event. This 8-man standard tag match kicked things off. Sullivan in again, and Crow's looking for a tag to his tag team partner, Caleb, former Fusion tag team champions together in a catapult crossbody. Caleb Reed, of course, the younger brother of John Reed, who's going to be in our main event. A part of that Fusion Genesis 8-man elimination tag team match. Of course, John Reed was not supposed to be in that matchup. Neither was Sam Valentine. They lost their spots this past Genesis to Brule, but then John Reed and the 7 Deadly Sins brutally attacked Brule backstage. So team captain Josh Wolf and general manager Castle Fave of Genesis had no choice. They couldn't find any last-second replacements. So John Reed and Valentine able to keep their spots. What is your thoughts on that attack? Do you think it proved to you that they really wanted to be a part of Team Genesis, or do you think it was just an underhanded tactic?
You know, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. It shows that, you know, John Reed cares about his brand, or maybe he just cares about, you know, getting on that homecoming show, getting that paycheck if he wins the match. It's hard to tell with a guy like that what his real motivations are, but what matters is that he did what he did and he's on the show, and we'll see how that affects the match going forward.
Yeah, well, I thought it was going to throw a huge wrench in the gears with Brule filling in, because obviously it would have been a last-second change. Don't know how the Fusion boys would have fared with that big last-second addition, but nonetheless, you are indeed correct. You know, this time last year, John Reed actually was kicking off the show on the pre-show. He took a loss to Caden Kinra, so definitely what a year can do, as he is now main eventing. Says that he bleeds yellow. I guess we'll find out in the main event as Crow takes it to Flashy now. I'm sure that Rob
Bleeds yellow.
That's what he said. He bleeds yellow.
Is that okay?
Well, John, I actually find it funny that Sam Valentine didn't even do anything. He took the loss, but he wasn't going to try to get his spot back. It's all because of John Reed and the 7 Deadly Sins. I don't think Valentine really cares either way. In fact, many were saying he was a terrible partner, and I honestly have to agree to John Reed this past Genesis. But either way, the dream's still a part of Team Genesis. Just as he and Reed were last year at Validation as a part of that tug-of-war match. But Crow is dominating this 8-man tag right now. A tag to Bloody Justice, first time legal in this match. I was actually going to talk about it a couple of minutes ago before we got into that attack with John Reed and Brule. That Bloody Justice, coming off a matchup a couple of weeks ago for the United States title, challenged Alistair Knox, but obviously failed to capture the title. Bloody Justice quickly proving he's a hell of a singles competitor since his partner Rise was released. And Alistair Knox later on tonight defends Fusion against the international champion from Genesis, Dallas Steel. Probably the match I'm most looking forward to on this card, because they're both so unstoppable. Do you have I know you're not going to be able to join us for the main card, so do you have a pick there? Do you know enough about Knox and Steel?
Look, yeah, I do know. I know enough to know that Alistair Knox is a monster. I don't think anyone's going to beat him, especially tonight. He's on a roll. He's champion for a reason, and I think he hasn't even reached this peak yet.
Yeah, Alistair Knox is going on. He won the title at Regicide. So it's 4, 6, 7, 8. So 10 weeks as champion. Just a little bit over about 2.5 months. And the longest record for the United States Championship, currently held by Jackson Jordan at 3.5 months. So, you know, Knox, by the next time he defends, by the next time he defends, which I've been told by Castle Fave, not Castle Fave, my bad, by Yuri Sokolov, the GM of Fusion, will be 3 weeks from not from tonight, from tomorrow. That'll be Fusion number 1, it'll be 130 actually. He'll be defending his championship. So by that time, he'll have just about tied Jackson Jordan. We know that. Oh, look at this. Wait a minute. Chase Henderson has just locked in his bridging armbar here on Bloody Justice, guys. And Justice is in big trouble. But there we go. The Bloody One is able to find an escape, luckily. But man, the damage might be done. Can Bloody Justice battle back from this? Whereas Dallas Steel, we know, will be defending the championship at cause and effect, actually, against Josh Wolf, who earned the opportunity in the Feast or Fired from the Cyborg Invitational. But Dallas Steel, by that time, will have broken the record for longest reigning international champion of all time, which was held by Randy Orton. Earned that last season, just a little bit over 4 months. And he'll also, if he retains against Wolf, break the record for most defenses, which is held tie.
I think it's a matter of when he retains against Wolf.
Oh, so you're not giving Wolf much of a chance, huh? I don't know.
I think Wolf is a better tweeter than he is a wrestler.
Some straight fire there from Mr. Excitement. Josh Wolf been steadily putting on 5-star matches. He did beat out world champion Chris Andrews a couple of weeks ago, but he's coming off that loss to Up. And he's, of course, leading Team Genesis later on in our main event. But I was going to say the most defenses tie between Randy Orton, Troy Voodoo, and Jackson Jordan, all at 4. That's definitely going to be a hell of a match, though. Interesting pick by Knox. I think I asked him to be a bit biased, go for Steel, especially after that. He only has both men. Alistair Knox only has 2 singles losses, as does Dallas Steel, actually, now that I think about it. Both men only been defeated twice in singles competition, and Alistair Knox coming up a year here in CMV. Dallas Steel about 5.5 months or so. So pretty impressive on both men, as Caleb Reed was going for a spear there, but it gets countered last second by Chase Henderson. Able to verse. I haven't seen it. Here, some of you are. Didn't see you coming here. What up, D-Weddy? Nice for you to join us for the first time. Glad to have you, my friend. And everybody else I've missed, welcome. Glad to have you here at the start of Homecoming 3. Chase Henderson tying it up with Caleb Reed. Definitely want to get a couple other predictions from you, Mr. Excitement. I think the other matchup I'm probably, and most people are looking forward to, would be the tertiary main event, the no-holds-barred loser leaves CMV match between Bob Luger and Elijah Stewart. It's been building for this entire season in over 6 months, and it finally comes to an end. One of them is no longer going to be a CMV Superstar after tonight. Who is your pick for that very emotional and what is going to be an amazing matchup between those two?
Normally I would say Elijah Stewart because, as they say, no one is more dangerous than someone with their back pressed against the wall. But I don't know. I feel like Luger is just operating on a different level right now, where he's just so dedicated to ending Elijah Stewart that the good vibes case isn't going to be able to bounce back from this. As much as I don't want to, I'm going to have to go with Luger for this match.
I honestly have to agree because obviously I've called Bob Luger's entire career, and I don't think I've ever seen him this intense before, especially since he turned his back on the fans. We know that as a part of Click, he's done some pretty dastardly things, ended the careers of Hall of Famers Paul Anderson and Dave Turner, that brutal car accident a couple months ago, and even that brawl they had this past Friday night on Genesis, it was so absolutely, even though Elijah Stewart got the upper hand, just the way that Bob Luger is thinking right now, his mindset, I don't know that Elijah Stewart is going to stand a chance, but he's proved us wrong before. Look what happened last season, became Alpha World Champion, nobody expected that. Became champion again this season, and so many other upsets he's pulled off in his career, but either way, it's definitely going to be
Don't remind me about that championship win.
Yeah, we all know you're a big Cole Savage fan. That had to have stinged a little bit, I got to imagine.
Yeah, Cole Savage and I often share drinks on Sunday nights.
Are you also wearing an Egyptian cotton leather t-shirt?
Don't worry about what. You're sitting right next to me. How don't you know what I'm wearing?
Oh, but look at this. Flashy goes up to the top rope, guys. What many hail as the leader of the BRC, but even though they say there is no leader between them, Flashy, definitely the front man, just pulled off a beautiful shooting star press. Didn't go for the pin, though. Instead, puts Caleb over the shoulders. Caleb going to drop down behind. We've also got, like we touched on a few moments ago, the main event 8-man elimination tag team match Fusion and Genesis. Josh Wolf, team captain, leading Reese Ortiz, John Reed, and Sam Valentine against Andrew Briggs, Peter Thompson, Jacob Ziegler, and team captain Hayden from Fusion. And Mr. Excitement, who do you have? In fact, we know that you have Knox for Fusion. Also, who do you have for Damian Yuri Suckinov. Let's get all the brand versus brand matches. Who do you got? Who's your picks?
Oh man, Damon Suckinov is like, how do you choose between them? Like, these are like the two most dominant forces on either brands right now, and that's a tough one to call. But I might say Gary, because he actually reached the top of the mountain. He was a dominant champion. Well, Damien hasn't quite hit that yet. So as far as experience goes, I can't put it in Damien's favor for this match.
It's definitely an interesting point to make. Damien is just about, he debuted at the season finale, so there's 7 months he's been in CMV with a very impressive record. I believe now it is 27, 5-1. But he was voted newcomer of the year, but you're right, he's got the inexperience, whereas Gurry's been here. When did he debut? Jesus, Gurry debuted, I think, around the beginning of last season, so about a year and a half he's been in CMV and accomplished a lot. International champion and Alpha World champion. Held the title for just about 3 months, nearly beat Bob Luger's streak. It's his record for holding the title for the longest time. That's a dream match for a lot of people. And either way, hopefully the ring will be reinforced. But what about my dream, my wet dream, in fact. So you got, what'd you say, Gurry Suckinov. So one for Fusion and Knox, one for Genesis and Suckinov. What about that main event? Which team you got in that main event?
On paper, I might have to go Fusion.
But wait a minute, I got to pause for a second. Just 1 second, because Rob Cross just hit his sunset flip powerbomb, and I think it's going to be enough. It is! Rob Cross gets the victory for his team. Cross, Bloody Justice, and the Anarchists pick up this win in a highly competitive 8-man tag team matchup to start the show. Beautiful sunset flip powerbomb right there. Gets the win for Rob Cross. That had to feel real good for one half of the Kings, and now he's going to send that momentum off to Chris Diamond later on tonight. Excellent 8-man tag team action. But unfortunately, Chase Henderson in his pay-per-view debut as a singles competitor is going to take the loss to his former brother. Rob Cross, Bloody Justice, and the Anarchists, huge win for them. Getting this non-title victory over the Trios champions might put them next in line. All right, now as we get set for the next matchup, Mr. Excitement, you were just about to give us your prediction for the main event, 8-man elimination tag team matchup. So far, you voted Knox for Fusion and Suckinov for Genesis. So which brand do you give supremacy at the end of the night?
Yes, I was saying before you rudely interrupted me. I'm waiting for an
apologize.
apology for that, by the way. But we'll talk about that later. I'm saying that I have to go with Fusion in the main event paper because it looks like Genesis is in shape. We're even supposed to be on the team for this show. Then Fusion.
We're out a little here.
Got it.
Mr. Excitement, you all right? Like Mr. Excitement, back a bit.
Give me a
Match, and we can get your thoughts once again. All right, pick up where you left off. See if it's fixed.
1 second, I'm gonna enjoy this glass of water.
I've dreamt about hearing Mr. Excitement gulp in my ear. But up next, guys, as Mr. Excitement is enjoying his big old tasty glass of water, we get set for our first of 4 title matches tonight. And it is for the CMV Light Heavyweight Championship, as the misunderstood Brandon Rain is going to challenge the Deck Percy Simmons for the championship. You know that to cap off the pre-show. After this, it'll be D'Angelo Prince Quan Shea for the CMV Anarchy Championship and an Anarchy Rules match. Have you finished your glass of water there, Mr. Excitement?
Look, if I gotta be hydrated, I'm gonna take my time, This is a long pre-show. That 8-man tag took a lot out of me.
Now you're coming through nice. We got to get to these entrances anyhow. There was no lag during the tag. I don't think that was lag through my internet. I think that was in-game lag. Weirdly enough, the game always lags at certain points for me. Hopefully, anyway. But anyhow, you can see we are here live from beautiful Miami, Florida. And the CMV Light Heavyweight Championship is about to be decided. Shout out, as always, to the one and only Topher for this gorgeous arena. And here he comes, the former CMV Rising Star Champion, the often misunderstood Brandon Rain, earning this opportunity a couple of weeks ago. And since becoming #1 contender, has been on a bit of a roll. A couple of weeks ago, he knocked off Troy Myers with Percy Simmons ringside. Then Rain returned the favor earlier this week on Fusion, watching ringside as Percy Simmons knocked off the returning Adam Adams. This is one of the matchups I'm most looking forward to in terms of match quality. This is going to be a hell of a match no matter the outcome, but Rain is going to add another championship to his resume while he battles back the demons. Brandon Rain has had one of the most interesting stories of this season, no doubt, formerly known as Black Gale, struggling with alcoholism, but thanks to the fans' support, he's gotten his life on track and now kicks off one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. Well, kicks off championship action. Before we get to think of it, I think Mr. Excitement might still be enjoying his tasty glass of water there. As here he comes, the CMV Light Heavyweight Champion, my friends, the Deck. Percy Simmons became the only man to successfully retain that title back at Emergence when he defeated Bryce Canyon. Now he looks to do it again, but he has got a big task ahead of him. I'm cutting out? Am I cutting out to anybody in stream, or is it just to Mr. Excitement here? Vintage Xbox Live parties. Tonight's CMV Light Heavyweight Championship is up for grabs. We have a tweet here, guys, before this match starts from Harvey Hastings, who says, Chris, tonight I'll show you that diamonds aren't truly forever. Harvey Hastings, Chris Diamond later on tonight for the CMV Undisputed Championship. But right now, the CMV Light Heavyweight Championship is on the line as Brandon Rain, the challenger, takes on the Deck. Percy Simmons, this is without a doubt one of the biggest matches of both these men's career, if not the biggest matches for the two of them. Percy Simmons, has got to be so exciting for him to defend the Light Heavyweight Championship on one of our biggest pay-per-views, and a nice little flip showing his excitement. Like I said, this is going to be a hell of a match. When you were cutting out, I tried to ask you who you had your eye on for this matchup.
This is a tough one because both of these men have so much to prove. Simmons doesn't want to show that he's pushover as a champion. He wants to have a nice long dominant reign. But on the same side, Rain doesn't want to lose a championship match. He wants to come in. He wants to keep those demons out of his life. He wants to win a title, try to give some value to what he does with his career. So this one is another one that's tough to call.
Yeah, certainly very tough. And then you factor in that both of them have been on a bit of a winning streak. Like I said, Percy Simmons earlier this week on Fusion able to knock off Adam Adams, and Brandon Rain defeated Troy Myers and earned his shot at the championship here by defeating former #1 contender Bryce Canyon, as we get a beautiful standing 450 by the Deck. But no doubt these two feeling each other out. First time they're going Juan on Juan. Percy Simmons been an amazing champion thus far, the longest reigning champion this season. I think the longest reigning light heavyweight champion of all time goes to Ryan Kent, who held the championship for about, I want to remember correct, I have to go back and actually look, but I think he held it for just about 3 months. And of course, he set the record for most defenses, not only of the light heavyweight championship, but of all championships in CMV, 9. So it's a lot to live up to when you're a light heavyweight champion. Beautiful kick right there by Brandon Rain as Simmons decided to screw around a little bit, and he definitely paid for it big time. Now, looks like we're going to get a butterfly DDT by the challenger. Remember, Percy Simmons has the champion's advantage. I don't know that someone like him who's a very proud man, would use that, but he can retain the title if he has to by count out and disqualification, where, of course, Brandon Rain cannot win the championship that way. You can only win the title by pinfall or submission. Beautiful combination being brought together right now by Rain, but unfortunately gets shut down by the champion. Fireman's carry overhead. I think Simmons has held the title for about 2.5 months. He won it back at Regicide, defeating Jay Davis, effectively retiring Jay Davis as well. Now an Irish over to the corner, and Percy Simmons going to slowly approach. Oh! Modified, beautiful disaster. Boot right to the side of the head of Brandon Rain. Only going to get him a 1 count in the first pinfall attempt of the match. And as the action continues here, of course, up next, the pre-show comes to an end as D'Angelo Prince will challenge Jaquan Shea for the Anarchy Championship. Percy Simmons nearly botching that springboard shooting star press, but ended up working out in the end. Now Rain escapes the apron. We're going to take a bit of a rest. And this fight's going to spill to the outside. This is where it gets dangerous. Brandon Rain pops back up. Jawbreaker staggers Simmons just a little bit. The light heavyweight division definitely been on fire this past month. A lot of people chop me at the title. And something you got to keep in mind, even a bigger motivation between these two, is that Homecoming 3 now. We are officially just 10 weeks away. It's going to be in early August, the 6th annual Ascendance, the grandest stage of them all. So the likelihood that whoever wins here and is light heavyweight champion heads into Ascendance as the title holder is pretty big. So to be featured, every superstar wants to be featured on Ascendance. So if you're champion, obviously it's going to get you a ticket onto the card no matter what. And Percy Simmons resets the count to make sure that this championship match does not end. Shady, like I said, Percy Simmons, very proud man, loves to put on great matches, so he doesn't want to retain the title and these nefarious means. Though, of course, Chris Andrews wouldn't find it to be such a bad ending. He defends his Alpha World Championship later on in the main card, the co-main event, against Royal Rumble winner El Jefe. But we are at a count of 5 again, guys. We are getting, I wish this dude would get back into the ring already. I really would not want to see this matchup end by count out, but Simmons got to do what he's got to do. Guys, we are at a count of 7, and Percy Simmons doesn't look like his intentions of breaking the count. Big old knee instead, barrels down on top of Brandon Rain, and Simmons decides that it's a better idea to retain the championship this way than risk a double count out. Percy Simmons has retained the light heavyweight championship via count out here over. Wow, I did not think he would do that, but it seemed intentional by Percy Simmons because he could have very easily put Brandon Rain back in the ring, but instead he kneed him in the face. And this matchup ends via count out. Percy Simmons retains the title. I guess he wants that Ryan Kent record. He wants longest reigning champion of all time. He's going to do what he has to do. Percy Simmons retaining the championship via count out over Brandon Rain. That's got to be disappointing, especially to me. This is one of my matches I was most looking forward to. But either way, at the end of the day, Percy Simmons doing what he's got to do to retain the title as he looks down at Brandon Rain. Ralph getting his cameo in for the night.
Why did you bring your dog to the commentary booth?
Ralph goes with me everywhere. He's always my co-commentator. You're just the tertiary co-commentator here, right?
Yeah, my paycheck says that too.
But what do you think about that finish there, Mr. Excitement?
Well,
do you think it was smart? Or
you sounded surprised, but I don't know. It's just as you framed it. It was a lot more on the line than a title match. While the title is prestigious, just as you said, whoever won this match would also be walking into Ascendance as the champion. So Simmons did what he had to do. Yeah,
Simmons at 2 defenses now, and indeed, Ascendance just 10 weeks away. I didn't see it coming. I honestly didn't, but Simmons doing what he's got to do to ensure the title stays around his waist for as much longer. But Brandon Rain, I'm going to say, definitely deserves another shot at the championship, especially after that finish. But nonetheless, it happened, and it is a rules match, so no countouts, no disqualifications. Make sure that we got it on lock. So now that we got it a minute before these matches, let's finally try to get your prediction on that main event, Fusion Genesis 8-man elimination match.
But actually, as good as the first two, but
let's wait until the actual match is about to begin, because I think it's when we're in the menu that the party freaks out. So let's wait until we're actually in the menu.
You know, you
Everything
would think
good.
on the show's biggest homecoming, they could spring for some good quality microphones, but
All right,
it's not.
Adam. Cash for luxury items such as new headset. All right. Okay. Now, as we get ready for the CMB Anarchy Championship to be defended, Jaquan Shea putting his title on the line against D'Angelo Prince. Missed excitement once and for all. Let's get your pick. Will it be Fusion or will it be Genesis that wins supremacy tonight here at Homecoming 3?
La 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 la.
The suspense is killing me.
I think it's gonna be Fusion on paper. As I said, the first like a mess. 12 doesn't have the respect of his team. He tried to get John Reed and Valentine kicked off the team, and after Genesis, Reed Valentine technically shouldn't be on the team. You know, Reese is kind of doing his own thing. If he has to, he'll put the team on his back. But Fusion just has the star power. But also, you have the combined egos of Hayden and Ziegler, who both think they should be leading the team. So we have to see how well those two can get along. I mean, they were tag champs technically, but that was a kind of short-lived thing. So it's just gonna be a mess.
It's definitely interesting what you touched on, because Team Genesis has definitely probably been the most dysfunctional team I have ever laid out my eyes on since the old bickering duo. But I think Fusion has had its fair share of problems as well, and Hayden being an absentee team captain, which the rest of Briggs, Thompson, and Ziegler have been very adamant about, that he's not been here and that he shouldn't have been picked as team captain. So I think that in the same way you said Wolf doesn't have the respect of his team, I don't think Hayden has the respect of his team either. And we know that Ziegler is not a team player. He said it himself even a couple of weeks ago on Fusion. He said it time and time again. And he even denied an alliance. Pierre Thompson and Andrew Briggs seem to be probably the only two men of all 8 that are actually on the same page with each other. So that's definitely got to be a bit of a point to Team Fusion. And Fusion does have that star power. But then on Team Genesis, you've got Josh Wolf, who is most definitely one of the biggest breakout stars we've had in the future of CMV, and Reese Ortiz, who just a short amount of time won the 4th annual Cyber Invitational, completely clean 5-0, and he could very well be the next Alpha World Champion. We know he'll challenge for the title 2 weeks from tonight. I think it's June the 17th, cause and effect. Whoever is champion, we'll find out later on our main card in the Common event when El Jefe challenges Chris Andrews. But it's a not just dysfunctional, it's the entire match is dysfunctional. And it's just going to be a wild ride, but definitely a smart pick, I'd say, in Fusion. But anything can happen. We know that as D'Angelo Prince makes his way into the ring, and what a role this kid has been on. I think he's currently coming into this matchup with 4 wins behind him, including being only one of 3 men. Being one of only 3 men to hold a singles victory over Matsuda Tanaka. And just a couple of days ago on Genesis, defeated former undisputed champion Reese Matthews via countout, but still defeat him. I guess wanting to, in a smart way, conserve his energy for what is going to be a tough fight right here. And speaking of roles, Jaquan Shea, the CMB Anarchy champion, since returning from injury 2 months ago, was unbeaten just until a couple of days ago on Genesis, where in a great champion versus champion matchup, he took the loss to international champion Dallas Steele. But Jaquan Shea, man, been tearing through the Genesis roster. He's one of the other 3 men who has beaten Matsuda Tanaka and defeated Samuel Boone in a ladder match, which Brett Angel, special guest referee, to win the title. This is his first defense in his 2nd reign. And it is Anarchy rules, of course.
Not the greatest ladder match we've seen.
Definitely one of the best. Brett Angel, I gotta say,
legendary.
Top three refs we've had here in CMV. I'd give him a Slappy's definitely number 1.
Like, what can't he do?
Arena is awesome indeed, as always. Shout out to Big Topher. And here we go. The CMV Anarchy title is on the line. We just saw in the last matchup, Percy Simmons retained his light heavyweight title via countout. Jaquan Shea does not have that luxury here. There are no countouts. There are no disqualifications. Anything goes. Whoever wins by pinfall or submission in the ring will walk out of Miami, Florida, in Homecoming 3. as the CMV Anarchy champion, and a lot of people are putting their chips on D'Angelo Prince, and for good reason. I don't know what changed. The beginning of this season was fairly rough for D'Angelo Prince. He did capture the Anarchy title, but only held it for less than a week as he lost it to Samuel Boone at a wild card, but he went to Zach Payne's training camp or start a new diet. I don't know. Prince has been absolutely unstoppable, but Jaquan
he started using Jamaican coconut oil, and you know, that
is that what it is?
Nice and smooth.
Jamaican coconut oil.
Yeah, he doesn't have all that distracting him now, so now he can like focus on this match, get his head in the game. So that's why I think Jaquan is in trouble right now.
Well, he does have beautiful straight hair, I do say. It glimmers in the sunlight out here for Homecoming 3. As the championship is taken from Jaquan Shea, shown to D'Angelo Prince. Guys, here we go. The title is on the line. Oh, referee Poe, we haven't seen in quite a while. Our referee for Homecoming 3, D'Angelo Prince, Jaquan Shea. Time for talk is over, though these two haven't exactly been very vocal, letting their actions in the ring speak for them. Right out of the gate, D'Angelo Prince going to Irish whip Jaquan Shea out onto the apron. Guys, up next, our main card begins as Alistair Knox battles Dallas Steel, champion versus champion. Battle of the brands, the first of 3 tonight. And D'Angelo going hard straight out of the gate. Forearm smashes to the back, double knee back stabber. Then it goes for an early pin, lateral press. Only gets a 1 count. Surprised he even got a 1 count, to be honest. Obviously, Prince didn't think he was going to get the win there, forcing Shea to exert some energy early on. And now D'Angelo taking a big risk going to the top rope. Prince all over the place. Will it pay off is the question. High Rent District. There we go, though. Beautiful. Was that a closed fist, I think, to the top of the head? And now, look, it ain't no thing but a chicken wang. D'Angelo Prince in the corner. So I think it's safe to assume that you've got your eyes on D'Angelo winning this one. Or are you
D'Angelo didn't disrespect my legendary commentary.
Jaquan Shea showing his incredible athleticism with that springboard Hurricane Rana. Jaquan Shea, I do believe, quite frankly, is the total package. Everything this kid brings. He can be hardcore if he has to. He's a great high flyer, great agility, a hell of a striker from his time in Japan. Very well-rounded. D'Angelo Prince, on the other hand, I think if he does lose here, the reason for that is going to be his cockiness, his ego, as we just saw a few moments ago when he taunted in the corner. And it's not exactly helping him out any. Taunt when the match is over, when you're champion. And look, that's what I'm talking about. How amazing was that? A front flip, and wraps his legs around D'Angelo Prince's head to bring him down for Hurricane Rana. Prince going to fire back with a rake of the eyes. Dirty heel tap, of course, is completely legal in this matchup. And Shea feeling proud about himself. He's already got that one busted eye.
That was right.
Up to the second turnbuckle. Jaquan Shea. I mean, how can you not respect Jaquan Shea? A 630 senton from the top rope alone is incredible. But he just did it for the second turnbuckle. D'Angelo Prince trying to recuperate. Oh, did you? I would pay to see that, I think. Why don't you get in the ring right now, in fact? And
I said in my 20s.
How old are you now?
No, let's just focus on the match. D'Angelo Prince trying to become the next Anarchy champion. Let's go, baby! Whoa!
Trying to become a 2-time Anarchy champion is D'Angelo Prince, and like we touched on during the light heavyweight title match before, Ascendance 6 just 10 weeks away. Whoever wins the Anarchy title here has a good chance of going into Ascendance as champion. There are 2 Genesis pay-per-views before Ascendance. 2 weeks from tonight, like I said, Cause and Effect, and then the last pay-per-view before Ascendance, Purgatory, the 3rd annual Purgatory. So there's 2 stops there that they'll probably have to defend at. For Fusion, there's only 1 more pay-per-view before Ascendance. That's Final Stand, 4 weeks from tonight. Lateral press there by Jaquan Shea. And Final Stand, of course, will play host to the 2nd annual Deadly Games tournament. Definitely excited about that, guys. But as this matchup rages on, I've actually got a bit of news that after the birth of his son, Ryan Schmitty, guys, will be returning to action tomorrow night on the Fallout Fusion. So Laura Sampson has given birth. Congratulations indeed to the 2 of them. Ryan Schmidt, welcome to the world. And Schmitty, not wasting a whole lot of time, jumping back into the saddle. Schmitty returns. What did you say?
Oh, Schmitty's not his first name?
No, I don't. You think that Schmitty's name was just Schmitty? No first name, no last name? Do you think Damien is just Damien's name?
What a maneuver by Jaquan Shea.
Oh, okay, let's just move on. And you think that's a maneuver? What a maneuver right there by Jaquan. Moonsault from the apron to the outside, and he actually just horribly botched that. He landed knee, actually maybe he meant it because he landed knee first, then on D'Angelo's face. That was brutal looking. Somehow Prince is back to his feet. I couldn't even begin to tell you how, but definitely impressive as now D'Angelo, oh my God, power bomb onto the announce table, baby. This matchup is proven why it is for the Anarchy Championship. Holy camole, mamma mia. Now a kendo stick in hand by the challenger. D'Angelo Prince connects across the back of the champion. Oh, and again.
I don't blame Prince.
The smack of the cane off Jaquan's skin is making me cringe over here. Just a disgusting sound echoing throughout the arena. D'Angelo Prince guys have the upper hand. First the powerbomb onto the table, and then multiple kendo stick shots. That could be it, but just a 1 count somehow. Goodness gracious. D'Angelo Prince shows us his high-flying attitude. Oh, what do you have against Jaquan? Oh, yeah, right. Jaquan Shea did tweet out earlier. We knew you were biased coming into this. But D'Angelo Prince is actually doing a very good job of control. Just as I say that, D'Angelo Prince breaks free, goes for some QB crushers. It was looking like D'Angelo to flex it. Jaquan Shea shoots back with a kick to the gut, but a nice clothesline by D'Angelo Prince. The Anarchy title is on the line. Jaquan Shea's first defense in the second ring, guys. Air to the throne! The challenger sends his boot straight down Jaquan Shea's gullet, but collapses down to one knee afterwards. Not enough left in him to try to get to the pin. But now look at this. Jaquan Shea is in big trouble. D'Angelo Prince has been using this as of late. The Tequila Sunrise is being locked in. And even if Jaquan Shea got a rope break, it would not matter. But Shea instead going to quickly find a way to escape. Double boots to the face, but the damage might be done. That Tequila Sunrise is such a brutal submission. Works on the arm, the back, and the leg all at the same time. And even though Shea's able to counter, not able to maintain control, as D'Angelo Prince going to guillotine on that top rope. Now Prince going to use some dirty heel tactics. Remember, it's completely illegal. Even if Poe sees it, it doesn't matter. Double boots on the middle rope. Will he cheat his way to a victory? No. Jaquan Shea continues to kick out, but Shea just can't keep playing defense. He's got to go on offense, as he does right there. Nice counter. Fireman's carry struts at the wrong time, though. Jaquan Shea gets cocky, and now he's going to pay for it from behind, or maybe not. Goes for an inverted suplex, elbow to the midsection, and a vertical suplex by the Anarchy Champion. What a matchup this has been. These two light it up on the pre-show knife edge chop. Speaking of lighting up, the chest of D'Angelo Prince there at the 4th of July. Nice counter. Flips over the back of D'Angelo, and a nice heel kick connects directly to the face of D'Angelo Prince. Both these men are very tired, barely able to stand. I don't know how Jaquan Shea is even on his own 2 feet right now after that powerbomb out of the announce table. Kicks out the leg, and here we go. He used to pay homage to Jamari Williams, his former tag team partner, with this maneuver, but now mocks Jamari. The kicks to the chest, the final one, right to the back of the head. QB crushers might be enough to do it. Jaquan Shea, will he retain the CMV Anarchy Championship? 1, 2. No, he will not. It is only a 2 count. Jaquan Shea with his hands atop his head, trying to figure out what exactly he has to do. And now the time for thinking is over. Jaquan Shea looking to act. Will it be enough? Kick to the gut, caught though. Going for his brainbuster. What a reversal by D'Angelo Prince into an arm drag. And now Jaquan Shea is the one looking up into the sky. Roofless arena here in a second time. Air to the throne. D'Angelo Prince has the opening. Hooks the leg. Will it be enough? 1, 2, 3. It will. D'Angelo Prince is the new CMV Anarchy Champion. D'Angelo Prince with a second heir to the throne is able to pick up the CMV Anarchy Championship. A highly competitive and brutal matchup between these two. Brutal for Jaquan Shea. Got powerbombed onto the announce table and then took 3 or 4 shots with a kendo stick. But what a matchup. Well, you're probably very happy, I'd have to imagine. I'm not going to blame you. Well, Jaquan Shea is going to have to find some sort of source to blame for this loss. May have been his loss a couple nights ago to Dallas Steel on Genesis that kind of knocked him off his game. But D'Angelo Prince continues this amazing role he has been on and is now once again the CMV Anarchy Champion. What a matchup and what a win for D'Angelo Prince. All right, guys, and now that the pre-show has come and gone, great pre-show. 8-man tag team action saw Rob Cross, Bloody Justice, and the Anarchists pick up a win over Chase Henderson and the BRC, while Percy Simmons retained his light heavyweight title via countout over Brandon Rain. Things I feel definitely are not over between them. And we just saw D'Angelo Prince become the new CMV Anarchy champion by defeating Jaquan Shea. And now the main card is set to begin, guys, in about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to take a quick break to go use the little boys' room, bust out a little, pee. And then I will be back, and we will get the things started with Alistair Knox and Dallas Steele and Mr. Excitement. Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you, as always. Hope you come back. Hopefully it's not another year stint before we see you again. Maybe I'll catch you on the Ascendance pre-show and panel. That'd be nice.
Perhaps. I have one thing to say, though.
Go ahead. It's your time.
I like pie.
Great parting words by the one and only Mr. Excitement. So 5 minutes, guys, and I will be back, and we will get things started. Oh, not going to let me load there? Why is it still loading? Hello? Am I going to have to back out to the menu here? Oh, great. Oh, did it really just freeze? I hate this game so much. Well, at least the pre-show's over. I have it in 2 parts. Come on, though, really? How does this game continue to find ways to break? It amazes me. Absolutely amazes me that this game just breaks in so many different ways. Jeez Louise, man. Literally not letting me go into anything. Alright. So, I guess I'm going to have to end the stream anyway. But I'm going to immediately start it back up so it gives people time to come back in and what have you. So I'm just going to restart right away. So just refresh in like a minute, 30 seconds.